Hey, hello and good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ryan Embry. I am the brand ambassador at Travel Media Group. Want to first thank everyone for taking the time to join me on this webinar this afternoon. Very excited to share this presentation and content with you all. Now, at the end of the presentation, I will be providing my direct contact information in case you have any follow-up questions with the content that I will be sharing today. You can also use that chat feature, which is located right in your toolbar, to type any sort of questions or feedback that you might have. I will be responding to those questions personally following the conclusion of the webinar. Also, be on the lookout since today's presentation will feature a couple of interactive polls. Would absolutely love your participation in them. So let's go ahead and get started and learn how to discover content and delight guests using your hotel's social media. And I want to start today's webinar by posing a couple questions. First, what is social media success? Why is it important? And how do I measure ROI? These are questions we hear every day from hoteliers across the country. No matter how many times we're asked this question, our answer remains the same. It depends. What's the goal of your social media strategy? Not the goals of the property. We already know those. Grow occupancy and increase revenue. The goals of your hotel's social media strategy. Let me explain. Let's look at 3 different types of social media posts, and I want you to think, which of these 3 do you think is the most successful? The first post is a simple one, asking users what song would be on repeat during a road trip. Although there were no although there was no likes or shares, the post was able to get 11 user comments in response to the question. The second post is also simple, with a short note to its users about missing travel, especially in the local area. With no question to engage with, users instead reacted to the post with 17 likes and 2 shares. And finally, the third and last post, which includes an article of things to do this summer in the hotel's local area. Now, at first glance, the post does not look too impactful with no likes, shares, or comments. But when we dive into the back end and analytics of the post, we see that this post alone had a reach of over 400 plus travelers. So again, I ask you, which post do you think was the most successful? And that depends on the goal or goals of your social strategy. For the hotels on this call that might have answered post 1, your goal could focus around more user engagement. Getting your users more engaged with your post by asking questions could lead to better conversion when you share call to action posts with direct booking links. For those that answered post 2, your goal could surround identifying user sentiment. Learning about your social audience, what they like and share, can be key in understanding how to grow your followers and increase your hotel's chance of conversion. And for those that answer post 3, your goal is associated with impressions and expanding reach. Increasing brand awareness and growing your hotel's social following leads to improved chances of conversion. So the answer is each one of these posts can be labeled as successful and play a critical piece in a hotel's overall social strategy. So before we move on, I'm going to launch our first poll, which asks, of these goals, which align with your hotel's social media strategy? So with this particular poll, you can choose more than one since some are closely related. Is it more user engagement, identifying user sentiment through likes and shares, or seeing that increase in follower growth? And again, for this poll, you can choose more than one. Okay. Give everyone a couple more seconds. Okay, I'll go ahead and share the results with everyone. So it looks like there's a lot here. Almost half of the hotels are both looking for more engagement and identifying that user sentiment. But 83% of the hotels on this call are looking to increase follower growth, which of course we know the more followers we can get leads to better chances of conversion. So let's actually, that's a great segue into this next part of the webinar here. So of those goals, we often hear that growing social growth. When attempting to grow your social audience, you want to avoid making these common mistakes. Hoteliers that constantly focus on finding and expanding their audience end up neglecting their captive audience, and ultimately long-term will cost them their current followers. Now, on the other side of that, if you only try to engage and focus on your captive audience, you'll miss out on the opportunity to capture and grow a new social audience. So the key to growing your audience, and what 83% of the hotels are trying to do, is finding a balance of both, searching for a new social audience while at the same time focusing and engaging your current following. So the next question is, how do we do this? What social content can we post on our feeds that both will attract and capture new followers while at the same time engaging our current ones? So let's find out below. And this is the information from a Think with Google article where the author breaks down how customer needs shape search behavior and drives intent. In the article, the author identifies and defines 6 different and distinct consumer search states or mindsets, all of which align with travelers in their online booking journeys today. So for this next part, we're going to take a dive into each of these states and share examples of social media posts that would appeal to travelers searching with those needs in mind. Now, the first is the Surprise Me state. These searches are geared towards pure entertainment. They're extensive searches done with dozens of unique iterations and interactions. These consumers may enjoy things like roadside attractions or unique lodging. Although very engaging, it's hard to predict what might be surprising and entertaining to one traveler versus another. Some posts geared towards travelers in the Surprise Me mindset could use the phrase, "Did you know?" These types of posts could be the reason for a booking or be the final push they need to make that booking decision. In these times, a post like this could be the first step in researching an area otherwise overlooked by the traveler. We know that consumers are vacationing closer to home than ever, so catching a traveler searching in the Surprise Me state could be a great opportunity to grow new occupancy that has really never considered your property or your area before. The next is the Educate Me mindset. Simply put, this search is an information exchange. Consumers search for reviews, ratings, amenities, and comparisons to see how your hotel ranks among the rest. There's not a lot of surprise included in this search state. Travelers want information about the property. They want to see pictures and read details about what they can expect at your hotel. Now, these travelers are further down the booking funnel. So in this state, they might not be looking for a reason to visit for the area, but looking for a reason to choose your hotel when they visit the area. So when coming up with these posts, you want to think, what differentiates my property from my competition? So make sure you're integrating these posts into your social strategy, because it could be the reason they choose your hotel over your competitor. The next is Thrill Me. In this category, searches are associated with finding new and exciting things to do, such as things to do near me, or top 10 things to do in Orlando, or fun places to stay in New York. Where the Surprise Me state might be the spark, the Thrill Me is the fire. Travelers in this search state are looking for more and more momentum to book, compiling reasons for them to finally say yes and finalize that booking decision. It's during this search that travelers are starting to plan and envision their trips and the places to visit outside of your hotel. So local lists, online articles, and blogs are great examples of what travelers could be searching for in the Thrill Me mindset. Now, although these posts typically have little to do with your property, it could be the very reason they end up booking with you. Next up is the Impress Me mindset. These searches are about influencing, often flaunting status and importance. Searchers may hunt for luxury 5-star hotels and seek a grand experience as a reward to themselves. Contrary to the Thrill Me State, the Impress Me State is all about your hotel and the guest experience. These posts are the opportunity to brag and boast about the property. Travelers in this state are looking for that feeling of confidence that it's your hotel that can provide the experience that they expect. These are the ooh and ah posts that highlight the most beautiful parts of your hotel and the guest experience. Filters and creative lighting are excellent ways to capture the attention of travelers in the Impress Me mindset. Next up is the Help Me State. This search type prioritizes practicality, more often including family or location in the equation, like a search hotels near the convention center or family-friendly hotels near me. When creating these posts, start by working backwards. Take a frequently asked question at your property, like does your downtown hotel offer garage parking? Then answer that question within a social post. So when a traveler does a search with a question in mind, like hotels in a pet-friendly area, your hotel is the no-brainer option. Leverage properly, these posts will save you and your staff time by answering questions asked otherwise over the phone or at the front desk. When travelers are in this search state, you want to make sure it's your property with the answers that they're looking for. And finally, I would argue today, most importantly, is the Reassure Me State. Searchers in this state revolve entirely around simplicity, comfort, and trust. These searchers want to know that you have what they need, which is right now the ability to keep them safe and healthy. Where this might not always be the case, it's these posts right now that are the most critical in instilling traveler confidence. A traveler in this state is looking for assurance that your hotel is taking proper precautions to keep them safe. The good news is brands have done a great job of putting information and systems in place that can be shared via social media. As the industry starts to recover, it will be these posts that will serve as the foundation for getting travelers back out onto the road. So let's play this out in a little real world scenario. This is the hotel paradise. And for this example, we're going to meet 3 different sets of travelers. Each one has different needs and is searching for the best hotel in an area to meet them. The first set of travelers is Kevin and Sierra. They're a family of 4 with 2 very young children looking for an opportunity to get out of their small, cramped house that they've been stuck in all summer. They want a hotel that they can just hang out in and not have to worry about going anywhere. But they also want something to do with the hotel, like a pool or a private beach. Nick is a traveler in his late 20s who's been itching to get back to taking trips with him and his friends. He's a thrill seeker, looking for a location with unique attractions in the area and fun things to do. He sees his hotel as just a place to sleep and doesn't plan on spending much time there, only a place to rest between local adventures. And lastly, Jackie and Jamie, who are older travelers that are nervous to start traveling again, but are doing so in order to see their family. Jamie has trouble walking and will need a hotel with an accessible room. They're extremely anxious about traveling during this time and are willing to pay a premium to ensure their safety. So let's identify what search mindsets these travelers fall under and how the Hotel Paradise's social media feed can appeal and attract each one. Let's start with Kevin and Sierra, who again are in need of a hotel for them and their 2 young children. As Sierra opens her social feed and starts to scroll, she sees a post that her friend had recently liked. She notices that the Hotel Paradise has kitchenettes and a fridge in the room, which will be perfect for their family since they're not looking to leave the hotel to go out to eat. As she further explores the Hotel Paradise's Facebook page, she sees the beautiful private beach at the property, which would be a perfect activity for Kevin, Sierra, and their 2 small children. So by educating Kevin and Sierra that the rooms featured a kitchenette and fridge and impressing them by posting a gorgeous picture of what the hotel offers, the property was able to secure their booking for a 3-night staycation. Now, if you remember, Nick's needs were very different from the relaxing staycation that Kevin and Sierra are looking for with their family. Nick wanted an adventure and something exciting to do outside of the property. As Nick searched on Facebook, he came across an article posted by the Hotel Paradise highlighting the local golf courses in the area. He thought to himself, golf would be the perfect activity for Nick to do with a couple friends that lived in the area. As he continued to scroll, he saw another Hotel Paradise post that advertised a pop-up theater of his favorite movie. Nick didn't even know that something like this existed and was eager to attend this unique event. So by posting an article not even about the hotel, but about things to do in the area, the Hotel Paradise inspired Nick to even consider their property. But by surprising Nick with another unique event that he could attend while on his trip, the property was able to secure his booking. And finally, we have Jamie and Jackie, who are most concerned with their safety and well-being. A post about attractions in the area or even the hotel's amenities wouldn't appeal to them like they would for Nick, Kevin, and Sierra. So Jackie finds this Hotel Paradise on social media and is immediately drawn to a post that talks about the extra cleaning precautions the hotel is taking to ensure guest safety. Jackie's excited because all the other hotels in the area that she's researched have posted nothing about COVID-19 or cleanliness procedures. Right as Jackie's about to call the property to ask about accessible rooms for Jamie, she sees this post, which features a picture of what an accessible room looks like at the Hotel Paradise. So just by mentioning that cleaning procedures at the property has changed since the start of the pandemic, the Hotel Paradise was able to reassure them of their safety. The Hotel Paradise was also able to anticipate their needs and help Jackie with their question about accessible rooms for Jamie. So ultimately, the Hotel Paradise was able to secure their booking as Jackie and Jamie traveled to visit their family. So by leveraging a combination of social media posts, the Hotel Paradise was able to attract all 3 different types of travelers. Imagine if this property had only focused on the exciting events and things to do outside of the hotel. Do you think the property would still catch the interest of Kevin and Sierra and their family looking for that calm and relaxing staycation? Or what about Jamie and Jackie looking for a safe and clean place that is accessible for Jamie? No, it was a blend of the content that captured the attention and ultimately the business of all 3 different types of travelers. No matter what they were searching for, and their needs were met. That is why social content is so critical today to a hotel success. If you're a hotel without a clear-cut social strategy on what you plan to accomplish, you're missing out on a number of travelers that are doing searches like this every single day. So that's where we come in at Travel Media Group. All of the examples that you saw today were custom created posts by our social media team. We consult with you. We figure out what your goals are, what type of travelers you're trying to reach, and how to achieve it. We post up to 5 times per week, not only on Facebook, but Twitter, Pinterest, and Instagram. We also include social media ad spend, which we use to further your reach even more, targeting sets of travelers that could be searching for exactly what your hotel can provide them. During these times, you cannot afford to miss out on any opportunity to grow your hotel's occupancy. Do not make the mistake of doing so with your hotel social media. So before I share my direct contact information, I will go ahead and launch our final poll of the presentation, which asks if there are any hoteliers or groups of hotels on this call that would like help with your hotel's social media strategy. So I'll go ahead and launch this poll. I see that we had a couple of people join in a little bit later. Don't worry, we will be sending out a recording of this webinar, and you can find all of our webinars on Travel Media Group's YouTube page. And stay tuned, I will be sharing my direct contact information in case you had any follow-up questions. So I'll give everyone just a quick second to, again, find that poll. Go ahead and engage with that, asking if any hotels would like some assistance with their hotel's social media strategy. Okay, awesome. So as promised, here's my direct line and email address. Feel free to reach out to me with any questions about today's content. We are going to be continuing our educational webinar series next month in September. Very excited about this. We're going to be talking about multi-property marketing for management groups post-COVID-19. So if you're a management group and you have a whole portfolio or even just a couple of hotels, please be sure we're going to give some best practices on how to manage your marketing post-COVID, your digital marketing post-COVID-19. You can sign up at the link below, and as always, our webinars are free. Want to thank everyone for taking the time, and have a fantastic rest of your week.